I bought a rental property and I bought it in an area that I told you specifically not to buy in. Why? Well, I'm going to tell you right after I ask you to hit that subscribe button. Remember, that means a ton to the channel. And don't forget to click on that like button as well. That helps us get this information out to other people through the YouTube algorithm. My job is to educate. Your job is to hit the like button. All right, in this video right here, I told you specifically that Cloverdale was one of the areas in Surrey that you should probably not buy a rental property. Now, it caused some confusion because I also put Clayton Heights on the list of a place that you should invest. But to be clear, Cloverdale and Clayton are not technically the same area. They are different sub areas according to the Fraser Valley Real Estate Board's MLS system. So I said that you shouldn't invest in a rental property in the Cloverdale area for a couple of reasons, mainly the city's lack of interest in Cloverdale at the moment. It should be some sort of bustling entertainment center with patios and restaurants. And I mean, the city at this point is basically using it for nothing other than the rodeo. And the rodeo looks like for the second year in a row will not even happen, obviously due to the virus. Then I immediately turned around, spoke directly out of the other side of my mouth, and bought a property at the historic Bose Farm in Cloverdale. Steve, why the hell would you do that? Well, let me go over the reasons why I did that. I did identify Fleetwood, a different neighborhood in Surrey, as being the best potential for future growth in a condo. But soon I discovered that Fleetwood didn't have a large stock of rental units and even less rental units in my budget. You see, up until 2010, stratas could rule out building rentals, but if the builder filled out their rental disclosure statement after Jan 1, 2010, this is paperwork filled out by the developer before building starts, the rentals could no longer be restricted. The reason for this is almost every strata was ruling out rentals, causing the rental stock to be far too low. So January 1, 2010, the BC government changed the law outlawing new buildings from outlawing rentals. So that's what actually made me change my focus from buildings that were kind of built 2012 and newer, because again, the rental disclosure statement is filed prior to building. So I was looking for 2012 and newer, so that way I knew in advance that for sure rentals would never be restricted. And I even offered on 2 separate properties in Fleetwood, but my offers were not accepted and the deals did not work out. So that brings me to my next point. Investing is better than not investing. So instead of shying away from making a purchase that I knew would be a good purchase, I shifted strategies and opened up looking into other areas. You see, it's easy to get discouraged and think that it's just not meant to be, but when your logic and strategy are sound, you have to be ready to adjust and make bold moves, even if they're not your first pick. And the third reason I bought in an area that I said for you not to buy in was the timing was right. The property with all of the right features popped up at the exact right time. A unit became available and it checked all of my boxes other than being in my desired area. So rather than waiting for a 10 out of 10 to come up in my area, which would likely have more competition, I found an 8 out of 10 that had everything I wanted except for the area, and I made my move. And the last reason I picked the wrong spot to buy is I actually live only a couple of blocks away from the purchase that I made. You see, people heard that I said don't buy in Cloverdale because it's a bad spot, like Chris commented on one of our listing videos, when in fact these 2 videos were my recommendations on where I thought it was best or worst place to actually purchase a rental condo. Trust me, I don't think Cloverdale is a bad spot whatsoever. But going back to my point 2, it's better to invest rather than not invest. So although it wasn't my first pick or my favorite pick or even in my top 3, it was definitely still a good move. But getting back to Cloverdale and specifically living nearby your rentals, it was actually the very first day when my tenant had their first very minor problem. And I was able to walk the 2 blocks there, come back, fix the problem, all that stuff before my family basically even knew I was gone. This is actually a point that I never even really considered until my wife brought it up. When we originally looked at the property, she said, think how easy it would be for prospective tenants when you're showing them, because often tenants don't even show up when you have the scheduled appointments. And then it made me remember back to all those drives I had back and forth to my previous rental in the area of Newton. I mean, it was 15 to 25 minutes each way, and it was a real nuisance when I did have to actually go and visit the property. So there we go. Why did I invest in the wrong area of town, in an area I specifically told you not to invest in? Well, 1, my first choice was unavailable. 2, I knew that investing was better than not investing. 3, an opportunity presented itself and I had to take advantage of it. And 4, it was right close by and very convenient for me to property manage moving forward. So there you have it. I bought in an area that I advise you specifically not to, but let me tell you, after looking back on it, it was absolutely the right purchase for me. And your real estate should be the right purchase for you, because we don't all have the exact same lifestyle. So you shouldn't take my advice on where I buy. Otherwise, we'd all live under my roof and it would get super crowded. And with the virus, that would be terrible. The reality is we're all individuals with different wants and needs. And that's what makes selling real estate to you such an amazing adventure. Thanks again for watching. Remember to hit that subscription button. It really helps the channel and therefore helps me out a ton. Hit that notification bell if you don't want to miss a single one of these updates. And also, please hit that like button. It does, in fact, really help the channel and helps get this information out to more people who can then also invest and grow wealth through real estate.